The outrage began the moment South Park aired their now viral episode tearing apart The Witcher Season 4. It wasn't just a mild jab, it wasn't even a playful parody. It was a full-scale demolition of the recast, the writing team, the creative direction, and most brutally of all, Liam Hemsworth's attempt to replace Henry Cavill. Within minutes, clips circulated across social media showing animated Liam stumbling around with a plastic sword, the South Park narrator saying, "Behold, the budget version of Geralt," and crowds of Springfield-style villagers chanting, "Bring back the real Witcher." The internet erupted in laughter, confusion, and a collective realization that the parody wasn't far from the truth. But as memes flooded timelines, one voice cut through the noise with the precision of a blade, Candace Owens. And her reaction didn't just add commentary to the chaos, it elevated the entire controversy into a cultural moment.
Oh, I can make whatever I want. I've got him on a farm milking people. I'm gonna send him to the ladies with the red bonnets on.
Because everyone can have their version. Everyone shouldn't. Everyone doesn't matter enough to have their version. What matters is the millions upon millions of people which have bought the games, and they deserve to be represented. Lauren doesn't. Lauren's irrelevant. I'm not sure why Lauren's the showrunner. She already scared off the best asset that the series has. Getting rid of Henry Cavill and keeping Lauren would be like losing a Wagyu steak and having it replaced with a carrot.
Were you familiar with this, the Watcher before you, The Witcher?
The Witcher,
before
yeah.
you started?
I hadn't seen the TV show, and I hadn't read the book.
I'm the most annoying guy on set because I'm saying, excuse me, you do realize that this should be happening and they wouldn't do that, and you haven't read this, that means this would be impossible. And everyone's just going, Henry, just shut up and do the thing. And I'm like, I don't want to do the thing because he wouldn't do it this way, and he can do this.
Candace, known for her unapologetic takes and sharp critiques, was already familiar with the disaster surrounding The Witcher recast. She had watched fans spiral into frustration the moment Henry Cavill, the actor who carried the franchise, was replaced by someone who felt like a last-minute substitute at a fan convention. But the South Park episode changed everything. Suddenly, the parody didn't feel like mockery. It felt like truth presented through animation. So when Candace went live on her show to discuss it, she came armed with receipts, perspective, and that signature Owens intensity that strikes fear into anyone who finds themselves on the wrong end of her commentary.
My job? Kill monsters. Get coin. Use coin on McDonald's app. Get points. Use points to get free McChicken. Only 1,500 points. Every dollar spent is 100 points. Constant BOGOs. I always leave with a free McChicken. It's like I'm stealing from them.
Stealing? You're a thief.
Lemon Witcher was supposed to be 7 seasons, but it was abruptly cut down to 5 after Henry Cavill left, and Lauren Hissrich is lucky she got that. But she does say, are there more stories? Maybe. Well, actually, there's a lot because you skipped them. But this one has to end at this point. So I think it's a nice time for all of us to step back a little bit. And that probably has a lot to do with the audience stepping back a long time ago. Back
they
in
should have just canceled it.
It was and there were more than a few outlets and
I don't know why Netflix would have even continued with it, because like it's only going to damage their brand and make them look bad. Like you probably should be paying money to not have it shown.
Saying that's possible, actually releasing the show. And let's just
I don't know why they released it. They should have just canceled it. That's fine. But what I'm saying is that a lot of people obviously don't like this type of content.
Netflix's Q2 report came out, and apparently they lost 1 million subscribers in the second quarter of this year, which we already saw that at the beginning of the year, they lost 200,000. The next month, they lost another couple 100,000, and they had projected that they were going to lose a couple million over the next few months.
She began calmly, introducing the topic with a tone that suggested she was about to deconstruct something far deeper than a cartoon episode. So, she said, clasping her hands together in front of her desk, I finally watched the South Park episode making fun of The Witcher Season 4, and I have thoughts. Her voice carried that low, steady seriousness that her viewers instantly recognized. That tone meant someone, somewhere, was about to be verbally dismantled, and within seconds she dove directly into the heart of it, Liam Hemsworth's performance. Let me be very clear, she said, leaning forward. I don't dislike Liam as a person. I'm sure he's a lovely man. But this recast, this performance, this entire creative decision, it was a disaster. And South Park knew it.
Now I have to.
I think that's just so unfair to the guy. Are we really going to blame everything and scapegoat this guy? Well, think about it. If the show was so great, why did the first guy leave? It's so unfair.
Millions of people are canceling their Netflix subscriptions. Why Netflix stock is absolutely tanking right now. I mean, it is just collapsing totally in the red. And you can see that it is on a massive downward slope this month. It's cratering.
And I guess bringing in a new White Wolf at this point in the season, a bold move and a tall order for Liam.
And of course, he wanted to honor the character that had already been set up because he knows that he's stepping into a role. But at the same time, he wanted to make sure that his performance was authentic, that it felt like him, that he wasn't playing and mimicking anything. And so
promote this thing until a month before it came out. They knew that switching from like Henry Cavill to Liam Hemsworth, as downhill as the franchise has gone, everybody knew that even they knew it'd be shit. Were we expecting this? Witcher Season 4 is sitting at 17% audience score on Rotten Tomatoes right now.
I agree with the responsibility of that lays at the feet of one woman, the aforementioned Lauren Schmidt Hissrich, who has finally gotten everything she wanted, complete control of an epic fantasy series on Netflix without the shackles of Henry Cavill. And how did it turn out? Well, about as bad as you would expect. It's time to talk about
Witcher, 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 there's fish people drowning our sheep in the river.
Sounds like drowners. Gonna need spicy mayo.
Okay.
Oil my blade. Witcher magic for every occasion. Killing monsters is what I do.
Okay, can you hurry?
Witcher! A vampire ate my mom!
A Dracula needs garlic butter.
She played a clip of the South Park parody showing animated Liam attempting Geralt's iconic grunt, but sounding more like someone trying to clear their throat during allergy season. Candace paused the clip and shook her head. That, she said, is exactly what fans have been saying since the minute the trailer dropped. It wasn't Geralt, it wasn't believable, it wasn't grounded, it was imitation without essence. She explained how Henry Cavill had brought something irreplaceable to the role, a deep respect for the books, the games, and the entire Witcher world. Henry didn't just play Geralt, she said. He lived Geralt. And when you replace a man who treats a role like an art form with someone who treats it like a gym membership,
promote this thing until a month before it came out. They knew that switching from like Henry Cavill to Liam Hemsworth, as downhill as the franchise has gone, everybody knew that even they knew it'd be shit. Were we expecting this? Witcher Season 4 is sitting at 17% audience score on Rotten Tomatoes right now. And I mean, look, the critics are pretty so-so on it as well. Some critics have been lambasting it, but overwhelmingly the fan base who has had an opportunity to watch it has wholeheartedly rejected this thing.
And it was not even a year ago where Henry very publicly said that he is committed to doing the planned 7 seasons of the Netflix Witcher on one condition. That condition being that the writers can manage to tell great stories while honoring the source material this show is apparently meant to be based on. Now,
okay, well that actually does fucking indicate something, doesn't it? Let's read this again. Absolutely, he says, and this is a quote, as long as we can keep telling great stories which honor Sapkowski's work. So I wonder what the odds are that a Netflix series isn't going to honor the original content of which the series is built off. What's this? Oh, I saw this. Henry Cavill says he's not a fan of sex scenes in film and television and believes that they're mostly a bit of a cop-out. Fucking true. Absolutely true.
It's when you have a sense that you're going, is this really necessary? Or is it people just with less clothing on?
Right.
And that's where you start to get more uncomfortable and you're thinking, there's not a performance here. TV show or a movie is just filled with sort of gyrating bodies and you're going, okay, right. But I mean, what is this doing for us apart from the idea of like, oh, naked person, great. Yeah.
Her commentary sliced through the narrative with precision. She noted that South Park rarely targets something unless the cultural consensus is already overwhelming. That show has been around for decades, she said. They don't parody things nobody cares about. They parody things everyone is quietly or loudly complaining about. Liam didn't get mocked because South Park is cruel. He got mocked because the writing room for season 4 set him up to fail. And that's when Candace transitioned into the deeper critique, the writers. She reminded viewers that Henry Cavill left the show not because he wanted to pursue other opportunities, but because he fundamentally disagreed with the creative decisions being made behind the scenes. Henry literally fought with the writers about staying true to the books, she said. He wasn't asking for special treatment. He wasn't asking for ego boosts. He was asking for basic respect for the source material. And instead of listening to the one person who actually understood the world, they replaced him with... Candace raised her eyebrows. And what happened next? Disaster. Absolute disaster. Like, fans revolted, critics revolted, and South Park turned the entire thing into a comedic crime scene. From there, she took aim directly at the season 4 writers. This wasn't Liam's fault entirely, she said, but let's be honest, he didn't elevate anything either. The writers removed everything that mattered, stripped out the darker tones, ignored the lore, and then handed Liam a sword and said, good luck. That's not direction, that's negligence. She described the writing as hollow, soulless, and designed by people who thought fantasy should be shiny instead of meaningful. And the more she spoke, the clearer it became. She wasn't just critiquing a season. She was critiquing a cultural shift in Hollywood where authenticity was replaced with algorithms. But the real moment, the one that ignited millions of shares across the internet, came when Candace addressed Liam's rumored embarrassment at the South Park episode. Reports said he had been privately upset, frustrated that the parody singled him out. Candace didn't hold back. If Liam is angry about being mocked, she said, maybe he should ask himself why it was so easy to parody him in the first place. The studio audience gasped. The clip went viral instantly because she wasn't sugarcoating anything. She was speaking the same truth fans had been shouting since the first footage appeared. She continued, "You can't expect to step into an iconic role, fail to carry the same weight, and then act shocked when an animated show exaggerates it. That's what South Park does. They highlight what's already broken." She then played the scene where animated Liam, confused and stumbling, drops his sword mid-battle and says, "Wait, can we get Henry back?" Candace paused and stared into the camera. That line, she said with a half smile, might be the most accurate thing South Park has ever written. From there, Candace broke down the fan reaction in detail. She explained how season 4 wasn't just bad, it was a betrayal. Fans didn't dislike Liam because of who he was. They disliked what he represented, a creative team that ignored the heart of the franchise. Henry Cavill treated The Witcher with respect, she said. Liam treated it like a gig, and the writers treated it like a blank canvas for their own ideas. That combination was doomed from day one. She then compared the recast to replacing a gourmet chef with someone who only knows how to microwave food. Nothing against microwaves, she joked, but when fans expect a feast, you can't serve reheated leftovers and act surprised when they riot. The segment intensified when Candace addressed the uproar within the Witcher fandom itself. She revealed that fan pages had exploded overnight, with millions of people sharing clips of Henry's best scenes as a form of protest. Some even staged virtual rewatches of the first 3 seasons. Captioned, "This is the real Witcher," Candace used this to make a larger point about audience loyalty. People will forgive mistakes, she said. People will forgive risks. But what they won't forgive is disrespect. And the disrespect here was loud, clear, and intentional. She then launched into her most blistering critique yet, arguing that Hollywood studios consistently underestimate the intelligence and dedication of fandoms. They thought fans would adjust, she said. They thought people would get used to Liam. They thought loyalty was automatic, but loyalty is earned. And Henry earned it. Liam didn't. Her voice sharpened. You don't replace passion with performance. You don't replace authenticity with aesthetics. You don't replace someone who actually cares with someone who's just reading lines. The audience applauded, not because they hated Liam personally, but because Candace was articulating what millions were thinking. Passion matters. Respect matters. And when a studio ignores those principles, the entire production collapses. Candace then showcased a montage of clips from the South Park parody, each one highlighting a different flaw in Season 4's execution. One showed animated Liam running away from a monster yelling, "This is harder than Hunger Games." Candace paused and said, honestly, not far from how some fans described his performance. Another showed the writers chanting, "Lore is boring," to which Candace responded, "Congratulations, they just exposed the whole problem." But the most explosive moment in her commentary was when she shifted her critique from Liam's performance to his reaction. If Liam is upset that South Park mocked him, she said, maybe he should be more upset at the writers who put him in a position where mocking him was easy. She leaned closer to the camera. Because here's the truth. If Henry Cavill had played Geralt in Season 4, even with the same scripts, same shots, same everything, South Park would not have mocked him. Because Henry embodies the character, he respects the character, and you can't parody authenticity. The clip went viral instantly. Fans flooded the comments with messages praising her boldness. Some wrote, "Candace said what had to be said." Others added, "This is the takedown Liam needed." Even Henry Cavill fans shared the video with captions like, "She gets it." Candace wasn't done. She ended her analysis with a message that hit harder than any joke in the South Park episode. "Hollywood keeps making the same mistake," she said. "They think they can replace authenticity with convenience. They think they can replace dedication with sales charts. They think they can replace someone who truly loves a role with someone who just wants exposure. But fans are smarter than that. They always have been. And The Witcher Season 4 is the latest proof." She concluded with a statement that would be quoted across social media for weeks. "If you want to make great stories, respect the audience. And if you want to honor Geralt of Rivia, respect the man who became him." With that, she ended the segment. No screaming, no insults, just pointed truth. And in the wake of her commentary, Liam Hemsworth found himself in an even harsher spotlight, not because of Candace herself, but because she voiced what fans already believed with a clarity they hadn't heard anywhere else. And as the dust settled, one thing became undeniable. South Park mocked Liam Hemsworth, but Candace Owens destroyed the narrative that protected him.